So we have bundled up a crate of goods that we've collected throughout all of this decluttering in different rooms that need to be distributed into other rooms. And there are some items we want to keep, but we're questioning on, how do I go about keeping these? What's the best, safest way so that they don't become harmed or injured in any way, and they are my memories, such as building your legacy. We're going to cover those topics today, and I have a few tips on how you can be a little frugal and use up some of that stuff that you have stashed away. Hello, this is Elizabeth here on the Dandy DIYer. We are covering tips on what we can do with our collective crate, our pile of all those legacy and memory things that we truly want to protect, put them in a safe place, but we need some ideas on how we can go about safeguarding them, protecting them, and where we might possibly put them. We're going to cover all that today. So stick with me. I got a few tips, and I'll show you some of the things I did that might just help you. The first thing that we're going to talk about is something that I truly treasure and want to keep. Let's cover those items one thing at a time. So the first thing, let's look at this crate. It does have my photographs. These are precious memories to me. They are pictures of loved ones, and they are even some candle holders in here. I keep because it's short and it can go about anywhere, and I can put a single pillar candle on it. This is something you could put in your junk trunk. You could use it, or you can just give it away. Thing is, like, I have a photograph in a frame. When I worked, this was on my desk, and this was my pet, Charlie. He has passed away now. So I really need to take this out of the frame and place it into a photo album for memory and give up the frame to someone else, or put my new animal in there. We have more photographs, and these individuals are now in their 30s. These are photographs from when they were children and in school. And here is an empty frame, but it's one of those that opens up and you can put two in at a time. That might be something you can reintroduce into your current style. These are just memory photographs from years and days gone by of individuals, and lots of changes. All those kids are now grown adults. We have a family portrait. And then, of course, there are the wedding pictures, the famous wedding pictures. Now, things like this, some people keep these up. I might want to update this frame, so that's probably a DIY. I have this warmer right here, and it's not been in use in quite a while, but it's beautiful, and this might be something that can be reintroduced into my current style, since it kind of matches a lot of what I have. Of course, is a tin one, and I might put that into my room with my primitives and my old-timey stuff, or I may just pack that away in a tub to recycle out when I refreshen my decor. Now, that's some of the things that I do. I keep packaging, and the plastic bags have come in handy when I'm donating items, especially when I've already washed and cleaned them. I can put a tag on there, place them in the bag, and send them for donation. As I run my own business, the packaging comes in handy. I have leveled my packaging down to one box. I have my pillows, I have the bubble wrap, of course I have all kinds of envelopes, and I have craft bags for when people pick up orders. So that is all I need. I don't need any more packaging, and that's enough. That one single box is dedicated for packaging up things that will be shipped out. You have to do what is best for you, and remember, if there is a business in your area that they do ship items out, this is something you can donate to them, and that will lessen the cost for them to buy packaging and all kinds of things to protect the wares that they are shipping out. And craft bags, everybody loves gifts in a craft bag. I don't buy gift bags. I repurpose craft bags or gift bags, and there's some of those in there too. Box that I put wire hangers in, but I have the hooks covered and have them organized in this box, and it's the perfect size. It has a handle. I can pick it up, and I can easily put that in storage, and then when I need to do one of my DIYs using wire hangers, I have them easily that I can get to. and that comes in handy. Now, I do not allow myself to collect any more wire hangers because that box is full. I will simply band them up and donate them. Wire hangers are really, truly beneficial to Goodwills, missions, and all kinds of places that take donations so that they can hang clothing up that can be sold into their locations. So don't discount that, but make sure you band up the hook and band the hangers together so that they're not hooking on everything and hanging on everything. And then when you take them, place them in something separate and hand it to the volunteer or the worker there and let them know, hey, here's you some hangers, and they will use those. And that is just an easy way for you to get rid of all your wire hangers, because when you're donating clothes and moving them out of your house and so forth, you are going to have excess hangers. Now, the plastic ones like you generally get at department stores and stuff like that, look them over. If they're heavy duty, if they're in good shape and they're not flimsy and floppy, you might want to band those up and take them and donate them as well. But if they're flimsy and, you know, they're just flopping around and they easily break, go on and put those in your recycle bin and let those be recycled, because they all have the recycle stamp on them. Some other things you might want to consider. This box right here, I have found some things to go in my junk trunk for future DIYs. And of course, this little bin right here, this will come in handy to hold supplies. But I also have this shoe box here. And what's interesting about this shoe box is inside of it, I keep all these little gifts. Little things that I've come across that I think would be nice little gifts. Essential oils and scented fragrance oils that I have excess of. Little stuffed things. These make good stocking stuffers as well as gifts for birthdays and different occasions. But I limit myself to that shoe box. I don't go past it. If it doesn't fit in the shoe box, I go on and donate it and let someone else have it. Have your limitations. This is what I want you to bear in mind. You have limited space. You are now trying to reclaim that space so that it's yours, and you're no longer giving up that valued property per se to other belongings and things that are not functioning or practical in your home. You need to clear the space so you have area to move around and enjoy your home. But when you have adequate lots of space, you know, you could have those boxes and put them in the attic or in a spare room, whichever may work for you. But if you live in a small apartment and there's more than you living there, you can't accommodate all that. And if they don't have a storage place that you can put that in, you are once again cluttering yourself. But I live in a double wide. I do have an outbuilding that we use for our equipment. You know, we got tools and things like that. And we have done all the remodeling in our home. So I do have a place that I can place those items. But I have a very small little block of space that I can put them in. And I have to really truly make sure I don't outgrow my space and that it will house what I have. If I keep it here in the house, it cannot be no more than a third of a closet. So if it takes up more than 1/3 of the floor in a closet, I have to say no and give it up. These are just some rules that I have to go by in order to govern myself and make sure that I'm not hoarding away things that I don't need to be keeping that are going to create the chaos, the clutter, and the stress and the overwhelm that I was feeling before. And I can tell you, by reducing everything down and giving myself a allowance of what I'm going to allow myself to keep and have, also gives me the rule that if I put something in, then I'm probably going to have to take 2 items out. And I'm going to govern that rule on myself very strictly. I'm going to be very, very disciplined about it, because I do not want to get in this condition again. I want to be able to get this to a maintainable volume to where the maintenance is easy. I can vacuum, sweep, mop, dust. I'm not terrified if somebody's going to come over. I'm not worried if somebody's stopping by. I am not surprised when someone just drops in to visit, and just, you know, that's not hammering on me anymore. I am looking forward to their visit. And I'm like, okay, I don't have to hide everything. I don't have to like cover it with a blanket or stick it in something and go, where did I put that? And then it had really got to where it had boiled over. There was no more hiding the chaos. There was no more hiding the clutter. There was so much in here. It had compacted, and now it was piled on top of each other. There was no hiding it. So if somebody dropped by, they were really seeing what was going on. They could see all this. I'm not embarrassed about it. That's not what I'm saying. But when it got to the point that even I could not maintain it, I could not properly clean my home, I'm struggling, feeling bad all the time, and I'm depressed, I'm aggravated because I cannot get to something I'm looking for or find something that I want. It got to be really out of hand. And it was teetering on that whole thing of, I hate to say this, strike a match. And that's just terrible. And my husband says that reference all the time. And it did not sink in with me. I would just laugh and chuckle and go, oh, you know, because I knew it was stuff I need to put up or get organized or straighten out. But now if he were, you know, when that got to that point, even I was thinking, this time, this is just out of hand. So I want you to bear these things in mind. Don't outgrow. Give yourself a limit. Say, okay, I'm going to discipline myself no more than 1/3 of the floor in a closet or a shelf in my closet or my storage outbuilding or a place where I can put it in the attic. Don't outgrow that, and make sure that you are using it often. If you don't use any of that stuff, donate it. Give it away and let it go. It is no longer serving you, and it is being housed for a no good reason. I maintain this DIY channel. I have a reason for inspiration and creativity that keeps my stuff moving. And that is what I'm keeping mine for. I also run a business, so the supplies for packaging, they're within my limitations and what I need. It is something I do not have to put that cost out there buying that stuff, because it's coming in with stuff that we've ordered that comes in the mail. As long as it's coming in, I can keep that packaging and repurpose it. No, I haven't bought gift bags or gift wrap in, oh my gosh, since I didn't even buy it when I was in my 20s because I couldn't afford it. I just didn't have it. So I repurpose stuff all the time. And that's something I've always done. But my daughter, on the other hand, fell into that trap. She has now learned better, but now we have a lot of that stuff, and we can repurpose it and reuse it and do gifts with it. Now, if it's not something going on in your family like baby showers, bridal showers, things like that, that's very seldom, and they are happening at that moment, and you just, you know, you're housing that stuff, that is the best stuff to donate. Go on and donate it to a thrift store or to somewhere where it can get cycled and used. They will use it. There's no need for you to be keeping baby shower stuff if no one in the family's had a child in, you know, like 10, 15 years. That's just crazy. Weddings, no one's got married. Everybody's married off, and thank God you don't want no one to have a divorce, but you don't want, there's no weddings going on. And if there is a wedding now anymore, they just go to the magistrate's office and they just do it there. They don't even have a big ceremony. It's just, they can't afford it, the money and with the economy. So not down throttling it. It's just that I'm in the South, and out here in the country, we do it up right. We might have it at a barn. We might have it out at the community church building. We have gazebos and beautiful parks and all these gorgeous historical places. And it's a matter of gathering there and having it and hanging some things up and decorating. It's very rustic, and it's so beautiful and loving. And, you know, there's like horses, and we have things included in it. There's no need for me to have all this wedding gift stuff and baby shower gift stuff, because most of the time things are handmade as well. And if it's coming from me, it's going to be handmade. I'm going to make it with love out of my heart. So anyway, let me just get off my soapbox and move on. I'm sorry. Just fast forward through that. It bothered anybody, but this just kind of giving you some ideas of things to think about that aren't necessary in your life, and get rid of them, move them on. there's no need to keep them. And what you can do with some of those things you come across. So I got one more box I'll show you, and I'm showing this because I hear a lot about it. Inside this box, I have this shoe box sitting in. We have glass jars. Now, the reason why I mention this is a lot of times they're talking about the vases, the glass vases, flower vases. These jars I actually use, like the wine bottle, I have vinegars in it. These more straighter cylinder ones, these are excellent for candles, decorating year round. And the lid, of course, I just keep it because it helps keep the jar clean on the inside. And I can always dust it out on the outside. But then I have this 1 gallon jar, and I have this old prune jar that's the dark glass. Well, as an herbalist, I'm always fixing my apothecary and making my own medicine with my herbs. You have to have a dark amber glass to place it in. This vessel is a really large one, so I can make a hefty supply, but this comes in handy in making my medicines. The other one is the gallon jar. Gallon jugs are beautiful. The great thing about it, the gallon jar, I can make memory jars with them. Now let me explain. I have talked to people about the memory jar. The wonderful thing about a memory jar is it's a reflection of a collection of all these little things that cause clutter. But if you put them into a large glass vessel, such as an old candy jar or a gallon jug, you can look at them from time to time, and you can always enjoy them and see them, and they make really nice decor. Let me show you one. This is one of my memory jars. Now, I took this off of the piano to show you. Inside this jar, there is a boutonniere that come from a wedding. There are some of these interesting toppers, and now I can use that as a round ball in one of my craft projects. I have these little boxes. This would hold earbuds, and on this particular one, I will be repurposing that for my husband's earbuds. We just had the car in the shop, so we have this tag, and when we take the other one, we can repurpose this tag. We do this often with our mechanic. Saves him money because he doesn't have to keep redoing these tags. Matches. No one ever sees matches anymore, but we still use matches. So here's a book of matches, and that's at just in case. Stick it in the jar. There are all kinds of things. This is one of the finger puzzles. This is a memory from my cousin. She and I share, and every time she comes to visit, we get it out and we play with it. A little teapot salt shaker. Well, I don't use that, but it looks awfully cute inside of my glass jar. And I even have like a glass mug in here, a little pitcher, different things like a silver spoon. These give great color, and the grandkids love to look at this, and they go through it, and they take all the little things out and see what all's in that jar and what new stuff I put in. Then, of course, my birthday tag that was given to me, and I didn't keep all the other stuff, but I kept my little tag that they wrote out, and then pictures and different things. So you can have one of these beautiful glass cookie jars that's just sitting on the shelf taking up space, and you don't have cookies in it. Use it as your memory jar. Put those little tokens to build your legacy per se, and let the rest of the stuff go. There's no need to keep all the other stuff. And if you are repurposing things, it's a neat way to kind of catch it, and it's not just laying around cluttering up open spaces and countertops, and you're not constantly having to transfer it and move piles, as they call transferring piles. You have a place that it's being kept. And here's the thing. When you create the memory jar, you will get into that habit of doing that, and you'll automatically go check the memory jar first, just to see if you put that little something inside that memory jar. Now, in the South here, we have such a thing as a junk drawer, but I have also tackled those, and I will do those in a later video to show you exactly how I tackled the famous junk drawer, as we call it. Or I've heard people call it other terms. We always called it the junk drawer. In the South, we used things up and we wore things out, and if we didn't have it, we did without. but that junk drawer had the most valuablest things you've ever known to man for that particular home and that particular location. And on the farm, we were always needing a bolt, a screw, some kind of like sharp blade, our twine, string puller, different things. It could be a pair of pliers that we needed in the house. There were so many things, screwdriver, a hammer. We kept those in that drawer, and they were very, very important. I would not dare tell somebody to do without a junk drawer. It is impossible for us to go completely without a junk drawer, because there are precarious things that you need occasionally throughout the year. And rather than going all the way to a building, or all the way to a garage, or all the way to an attic, or climb up somewhere to get something else, or trying to find it, those things would generally be in that junk drawer. That washer that fell off that bolt that the husband has not been able to get done on the honey-do list, junk drawer. That little hanger piece that you needed put back up because you're not tall enough and you didn't want to have to get the ladder out, but he could reach, junk drawer. Those are those things that I'm talking about. If you're looking for that thing that come off of something else, a toy or something of the kids, and you're wanting to put it back on it so that you can donate it or so the kid can play with it, junk drawer. Those are some of the things. Now, yeah, I've heard people say, oh, my fingernail clippers are in there, my Band-Aids in there. Well, that's just them. That's just pure laziness. I'm sorry. I hope nobody judges me for saying that, but, I don't have chapstick in my drawer. Lord, no. My chapstick's going to be where I care for myself in my personal hygiene. Band-Aids, they're going to be in the cabinet with the first aid stuff because somebody might just need it. I guess what I'm saying is we don't practice inconsistency or laziness, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that if that is laying there, I'm going to go take it and put it where it goes. Because remember, I've always been an orderly person, an organized person, but this clutter that was coming in, these things that were coming in, just could not get put up or done with, or go where they're supposed to, or done away with. They weren't just my things, they were everybody else's. And when you are the only one putting it up, cleaning it up, organizing it, and putting it away, it gets overwhelming. And like I said, when you've had people living in your home and then they leave your home and they leave their stuff behind, there it is. And then it's 10, 12 years before you look in a certain cabinet or a certain facility because you're thinking, well, I just can't get to that right now. I just can't deal with it. I'm trying to deal with the rest of the chaos. And this is how this stuff just starts piling up. It starts building up and getting to you because, well, you are living life and enjoying it. And that's why it's important to get it down to a digestible amount to where it can be maintained very easily without the stress and the overwhelm and the dread. Oh my goodness, the beloved dread. Don't even think about it. However, I do want to say this. The memory jar, the keeping certain items that you wish to put away, do that. Like the photographs, I will put them in an acid-free photo book and protect them. The other ones, I will redo the frames and I will hang them up so they'll go into my DIY, my crafting room. The packaging I will use, that is my limit. It can go into the closet and then I can pull it out as I need it. The hangers, they will go down to my outbuilding or that 1/3 space in that closet or on that shelf so that I can refer to them very easily and quickly. And the memory jar, it is posed out here with all the rest of my decor. It doesn't take up a lot of space. It's a 10-inch round vessel there. So that means it's only going to take about 9 inches of space sitting about. And it looks real nice just sitting around. So this is not to encourage you to hoard away or build up more clutter and chaos. It is a matter of offering some tips on what you can do with those things, what needs to be done with them to protect them, and what you can do along the way if you're in my situation. This is not to encourage you to transfer piles or build more clutter or create more chaos. It is simply gauging yourself, governing yourself, and being disciplined and saying, this is mine, this is all I'm allowing myself, and not go past those limits. And before you start bulging, if you take one thing in, take two things out. Those are the tips. And always consider the fact that you might have a few items that would be nice gifts. There's no need for you to go spend more money. Be frugal, budget friendly, and wise, as we always practice on this channel. Use those items. They're brand new. They've never been opened. They've never been used. And you can place them together in a nice craft bag that you're repurposing. Make you a handmade card with some pretty paper or maybe a little envelope and put it down in there with some tissue paper. And this can be their gift. You thought of them on their birthday. You thought of them on their promotion or whatever event might be coming up. Or just because. Give them a gift just because. I give just because gifts all the time. I was thinking of them and I thought they would like that, and I put it together, and that delights them because everybody likes to know that they're being thought of once in a while without it having to be a special occasion or you need anything from them. So just keep that in mind. So listen, I've been rambling on and yapping, and I hope that you like this video. So hit like, and that lets me and YouTube know that you enjoyed it, and they'll show you more videos of the sort. Additionally, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, well, hit the subscribe. We do DIYs on here. Right now we're doing decluttering. And of course, this one is to make suggestions on what you do with those pile crates that you gathered from your decluttering. Where does it go? What to do with it? And some suggestions along the way. And share this out with someone that you feel might benefit, or maybe they're trying to figure out how's the best way to grab hold of the declutter and the chaos and calm it down, remove the stress, and get these things into a practical functioning method to where it is handleable and maintainable. I've enjoyed spending time with you, and I know that if you see something that I've said or done, leave it in the comments. I'll explain it further, or maybe you have some tips you can offer me, because remember, you got to help me out too. I'm over here by myself unless I can get me a body double to help me during my decluttering. And you can play this while you're decluttering. Maybe it'll make you think of something, because remember, your brain's going to keep solving problems subconsciously and consciously. Until the next DIY, declutter, organize, and donate video, this is Elizabeth